All right, welcome to American Whiskey. As always, I'm your favorite fat boy, beardless host. My name's Curly. How you guys doing? Over on the other side of I'm Big Sturg, but everybody's been calling me Curly. So on the other side of the studio, we've got the one and only reliable guy in American whiskey history, Justice League.
What's up, guys?
And our favorite story time teller, Uncle Joey.
What is happening? And that's our, we like to call him Freshly Sheared.
Yes,
Big
yes.
Sturg.
Freshly Sheared is my new nickname. We're excited. We're honored. We once again have Lawrence on our live again. On our podcast. We're honored, man. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on again, and good to see you guys.
Yeah, and this one will be a good time. So
Promise.
Sit back, relax, grab a drink, whatever it is. It can be a whiskey, it can be a rum, it can be a vodka, a beer, whatever it is, a wine. Grab it, sit back, relax, and let us take you for a journey.
Let's go.
All right. So, Lawrence, you're back on with American Whiskey. I know you've been on here before, so you're no stranger to us.
Right. Absolutely.
The first thing we want to open up with, man, is we've gained a lot of great listeners since the last time you were on. I'm sure a lot of people know who you are, but we probably have some listeners that may not know. So I wanted to open it up for you to kind of explain who you are, where you're from, and what your story is.
Well, I'm Lawrence Pritchard. I'm the head distiller and owner of the Flatrock Distilling Company. We're in Napoleon, Ohio, right downtown, across from the courthouse, and uncomfortably close to the sheriff's office. I'm known for making moonshine, but we're really branching out and doing other spirits like agave, a little bit of gin and rum too. So kind of expanding things out a little bit, but we're located right there in Napoleon, Ohio. Been there for about 10 years now.
Okay. And now, does your history does it start with you, or is this something that kind of goes back?
Yeah, it goes back in both sides of my family, and the more I get into moonshining and I get deeper into the journey, more stories are coming out of my family, which I think is pretty cool. People feel more comfortable now talking about what great granddad did or what great uncle did, and those stories I think are in everybody's family, not just down south, but here in Ohio too, or here in the Midwest. Like there's a lot of people that might have a grandfather or grandmother, and they love them to death, and they're the most sweetest person, but back then, they were, selling liquor and bootlegging and doing all kinds of stuff.
They were outlaws.
We never thought they would do, right? But those things are kind of coming out more in my family, and it looks like I have moonshine on both sides of my family, which I think is pretty cool.
So I want to dig just real fast into that history, the legacy, I guess we can say, that your grandparents and your family left. What is your favorite story so far that you've learned about your family with moonshine?
Honestly, my dad is my aunt is a historian for the G and PG-13 kind of part of my family's life, and my dad kind of lets me know about things that normally my aunt wouldn't really delve into. But most favorite thing is my dad telling me how my grandfather had, and I'm assuming it was a bootlegging vehicle, that he could do something to the muffler when somebody else is riding with him that actually give him more horsepower, but it would be a lot louder. And he would tell me those stories about him going up and down the hills down in Bainbridge and Nipshin, Ohio, down around Pike County and Ross County, where my family's from. And you can just hear him throughout all the hollers in the hills down there, and they knew it was him. So that's the kind of thing that really kind of.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
froze up.
Did he freeze?
Yeah.
We'll wait for a second.
Yeah, and I know while he's waiting on him there, I know he talks about being down from Bainbridge. I know Chris Lewis talked about Lawrence's family is deep rooted in Bainbridge, Ohio. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
As far as production.
So Lawrence, you kind of froze there for about 20 seconds or so.
Okay.
We heard you say that, about the mufflers and everybody knew. So that's kind of where it froze up at.
Yeah. And that was kind of cool thing that he had a bootlegging car that was, retrofitted to go a little bit faster, a little more horsepower. It kind of connects him to the bootleggers that went on to drive in NASCAR. This is Southern Ohio. This isn't Alabama or Mississippi. This is my state, the Buckeye State. So
absolutely.
I think we all have those kind of cool stories, but I think it's time that we start telling our stories, the moonshiners and people that have history in moonshine here in Ohio.
Time to put Ohio on the map.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ohio definitely makes some damn good shine, man, and we've learned that over the last 4, 5, 6 months, and I'm sure it's been going on a lot longer than that. And it's awesome that you're hearing about it now.
Yeah,
I mean, like you said, all these stories are coming out, of all these people that grandparents, great grandparents, and like you said, not only were they doing it to share a jar, but that's how they bartered.
Well, it's
how you put food on the table sometimes.
Uncle Joey, it was even when we went down to Bainbridge when we first got connected with Pabst Hilltop Distillery. We love those guys over there.
Oh yeah, Chris is awesome.
My dad calls me and he's like, "What are you doing running around Bainbridge?" And I'm like, I'm doing that. He's like, "Well, a lot of my family's from there." And so he started telling me about bootlegging and these stories, and I'm just like, damn, like Ohio really was on the map. It was we were just better at keeping it a secret.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
I think it was that, and just a lot of communities down there are kind of really close knit, and like you said, we're better at keeping it a secret. I don't think a lot of the information kind of went out there.
Yeah.
They were just making it, transporting it, and then that person would transport it up to Chicago or Toledo or Cleveland,
up to the White House.
So,
and they probably did it after. And they probably did it after church on Sunday. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of it. People don't realize it wasn't like these guys weren't good God-fearing men. They were just doing what they had to do.
The preachers were doing it, Uncle Joey.
Doing what they had to do to survive, man.
Listen,
liquor was a way of life. It really was.
If you look back at JFK's history, JFK's dad, was a bootlegger. I mean, it was, he was a very powerful man, and he started as, I think he was Canadian. If I'm wrong, I guess correct me, but he was a very strong bootlegger. I mean, so a lot of people in our history, I mean, they were good people. There's difference between an outlaw and a criminal.
Yes.
I think Bennett hit that on TikTok the other day.
Yep.
The difference between the two, it's everyone's heard the Richmond song.
Yeah.
It's just people trying to get theirs, you know what I'm saying? Because the government's gotten theirs for far too long. But a lot of good people realized that way back then, So, but yeah, we love the history of all that. And with that being said, Lawrence, I want to, open up the floor to you. I know you have some topics here you wanted to talk about, maybe a surprise, possibly, it sounded like. But we want to open up to you.
Yeah. So everyone knows that, most people understand or know a little bit about Flatrock and the distillery. We really struggle with growth. We're a really small distillery. We're not a big industrial kind of distillery. We started out as a boutique craft brewery, and then we moved into making spirits. But we're really trying to have a more of a rapid growth because there's so much demand for a lot of our products. But it's really hard because we have to turn away people or turn away distributors because we're not making enough product to keep up. But we do have a plan in place, and we're getting a lot of help from our new solicitor here in Ohio, Rich Regal. He's going to be going out and making sales for us. Very, very good marketing guy, very good business guy. And a lot of Southern Ohio across our region that, he's an entertainer, and he's outstanding. The shows are like, what he puts together for the shows and the performance is really incredible. So we're really happy to have him on board. But our plan right now is definitely expansion. I feel like we're losing more money by not making sales versus investing the money in the growing. Mm-hmm. So, those kind of marketing partnerships, we're looking to kind of cultivate those. And Rich and I are the first part of that plan. And then we're going to reach out and kind of grow from there. But we definitely want to start looking at wholesale sales more across Ohio, getting our products in more of the liquor agencies, which is tough to do. I don't know if anyone knows, but it is very, very hard to get bottles on the shelf here in Ohio. Yeah. When you're a small distillery, you get 5, and that's pretty much it. And that's tough to do because those 5 locations hold, all of the money you're going to be making from that one label in the state of Ohio. Yes, you could grow into others if you get good sales, but for the most part, you're going to be, struggling to make those kind of sales. But with a solicitor, we hope that it's going to mean more and more sales at the liquor stores, meet and greets, bottle signings, just really get our name out there a little bit more than we've been, and increase production so we can keep up with making that good liquor that everybody wants.
And let's be honest, Rich, we saw him at Farm to Bottle, and my son got a drumstick from him, got the whole band to sign it. What a great dude, bro. Like, he is such a good dude, a stand-up dude. He's not too good for anyone. And anyone listening, like, this Rich Regal, you may not have heard of him, but a lot of people have. Like, this dude's collaborated with music with Struggle Jennings, Jelly Roll. I mean, there's been a lot of his music's pretty good. I listen to his music. But he's just even a better person. I mean, so that's exciting, man.
And I think Lawrence hit it right on the head there. He's not just a great performer. He's not just a great guy. He's like a complete package. Yeah. And everything he does, you can tell he means well by.
Yep.
Right.
So that's awesome, man.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. And I mean, this guy is like I said, he's a good entertainer, but he's also very, very, very shrewd, and he's a go-getter, and that's kind of what we need right now. Because I want to really go past where we are right now as far as just making small batches. We want to go and grow. And get into other states, because we get people all the time that ask from Texas to Kentucky, Georgia, Mississippi, asking for our products, and I'm like, dude, I can't even take care of my own state.
Yeah, we want to get it down, dude. We want to get it down where we're at, man.
Exactly,
I've been messaging him for a little. It's been a few months. I asked Lawrence, and he was like, "Man, you just have to keep asking." It's and that's kind of crazy. I know. I actually had a couple conversations with you about that. It's so hard when you're getting started. They limit you. They limit you to the number of places. I know if you want to hit on that a little bit.
Uncle Joey, how many of these guys have told us that, though?
Yeah, that they're limited.
Why is it so difficult? It's bullshit, in my opinion.
It's sad is what it is. It's sad. Yeah.
They tell you have a distillery that you can sell the liquor out of. But the issue with like a distiller, man or woman, that might have kids and a side job, it's hard to be there 8 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week. So for me, I work a full-time job, overtime, and then I can only be there on Saturdays. So I had to make enough money for those 4 Saturdays to pay the rent and corn and everything else that goes into running a distillery.
Right.
And that's why wholesale sales are so important in the liquor stores, because the liquor stores are actually making the sales for you versus you having to be in a distillery every day.
Right.
And so I'm hoping eventually I can be, I'm working full time and I'm running liquor full time, but I want to be able to, this is my only job. So I can be on the road and go to tastings or go to meet and greets or meet people that want to have our liquor, or go to distributor meetings in another state. It's just really hard to do when you're working, when you're working at a full time job.
Do you know how many stores you're actually in now, right offhand? Do you know the number?
I want to say it really depends on the liquor. I know Wade Jennings were in 6 because I lobbied hard to get Brian Rite Aid. And I'm kind of nervous about Rite Aids right now. I don't know if anyone knows, but they declared bankruptcy.
I did.
You said Rite Aid did?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
dude, that store has been the most like.
Yeah,
I remember seeing like my first picketing signs outside of a Rite Aid. I don't understand it because I love fucking Rite Aid.
Yeah, me too.
I love Rite Aid.
So we're really kind of nervous about that because a lot of them have liquor stores, and what happens to those liquor licenses. And we do have some products in, like I said, Wade Jennings Bloody Butcher bourbon that we do. That's actually in the Brian Rite Aid too. So that's part of the issue. It's like they'll give you one if your sales are doing well. And then if something happens where, there's not enough room on the shelf, or Rite Aid might stop selling liquor, we don't really know yet, you lose that one. And then you got to lobby to get another one.
Man.
So that's always been an issue. But I think with the license that we have, they're expecting that you're going to be a boutique brick and mortar place selling liquor that way.
So, Uncle Joey, I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. When we asked Doug Taylor how to get some of his product out, and we've asked other family members. I call them family now, man.
Yeah, you guys are all family. Yeah, absolutely.
But the best way, Uncle Joey, correct me if I'm right, they've all said this: go into your local liquor store and ask them for it.
That's, Lawrence has told me the same thing.
I mean, Lawrence, is that true? Is that what people need to do? I mean, we do reach quite a few. We don't reach millions of people, but we reach a lot of good listeners that really care. Do they just walk into their local liquor store here in Ohio and demand for it?
Yeah, that helps.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that they're going to put our liquor in there, but I think the sales team is going to be there at How Liquor is going to say, well, if there's so many people that want the liquor, then this is the place that we should put his liquor in. That happened to us at Bryan Rite Aid.
Mm-hmm.
The bar in Bryan, it was a couple bars in Bryan that was pulling so much of his liquor that they decided that that the closest liquor store, which would have been Rite Aid, should have it and then have it on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
So demand does help for sure, but it really is up to How Liquor where you go as far as past those 5 that they give you at the very beginning.
Yep.
All right,
man. They make it rough, dude. They definitely don't make it easy on you guys trying to get started.
Which is interesting because the state makes money off of.
Yeah, you would think they would want to help push, especially when it's good liquor.
I mean,
I think a part of it is we don't make as much as the bigger guys do, especially the smaller boutique. So it's like, not that they're not giving us attention or helping. It's just, is their return on investment going to be high if they give us 20 or 30 stores? Are we really going to have that much more sales for the amount of work they're putting into getting our product in there, or is it just going to sit on the shelf?
Go ahead, Uncle Joe. I hear you over there.
But it's just crazy. It's really not costing them anything to put your product on the shelf.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's you got to give a guy a chance. Give a guy a chance is mine.
Shelf space. So you have to be willing, to put yourself out there, I guess, and be willing to take over a product that's on the shelf that's not selling and kind of gravitate people towards getting that. And I'm sure that can be tricky, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
I'll give you an example. So we have a Kroger liquor store up here in a little town in Urbana where I go. And in the back of Kroger, they have a little moonshine section. And when I go in there, I notice the same moonshine is there. Mm-hmm. So it's not like that stuff is selling. So it's not going to hurt Kroger, in my opinion, to slide that shelf down from 3 wide to 2 wide or 1 wide and put some more product in there. Mm-hmm. To me, I would think it would be beneficial for a store like Kroger that has the OHLQ to want to reach out to guys like Lawrence and say, bring your product to us. But it's dude, it sounds like it's crazy. The whole state thing just doesn't make sense to me. It sounds like it should be an easy process, and they turn it into a whole lot of hassle and headache.
I think it's all about making money.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking at. They have to take care of the larger distilleries. They got to take care of the larger distillers that are coming into Ohio and competing for that space too. And I think they think that they did. I mean, they didn't really throw us a bone with the A3A distiller's license, because there's a lot of things that are packed into that license that you can do, including going into liquor agencies. But we could have a little bit more help with even marketing, because if you look at Ohio liquor marketing, a lot of the stuff they're covering is made in Kentucky. There's not a lot of stories about local distilleries or local Ohio distilleries. They're always focused on the lotteries and bourbon that are coming into the state. Yep. And that's to tell you right then and there that they're thinking about money, not necessarily representing the distillers out here in the state.
Yeah.
So, our friends at Lake Erie Distillery just hit it right on the head with what you guys have been saying. They said the issue is more of a state problem. Agencies do not have right to move or change shelf space. So it sounds like the state is literally just constricting what they can and cannot do.
Right.
And it makes it even harder when people want a product, but the store can't really do anything about it.
Yeah. And it is frustrating for us too. Like I said, if I can have 20, 30 different stores, and I can focus on those 20 and 30 different stores with tastings and promotions and displays and all that good stuff. Yeah. It gives me an area to work, but with 5 stores, I mean, it's not enough for me to say, okay, I'm going to take these 5 stores and do a tasting there once a week. Well, you're going to hit that store once a month, but I mean, really not going to sell as much as you need to.
Well, Lawrence, here's a question. I'm a handyman. So if I go into a person's house they're going to have they're not going to tell me this, but when I go there and they want their bathroom refinished or whatever it is, they're going to be like, why should I hire you? What do you do that no one else does? You know what I'm saying? So, Lawrence, what can you do to brag on your product? Is there something that you do that's special, that deserves that shelf space? What is it that you're bringing to the table that no one else is? I know that's a question that, I didn't, right. It's going to catch you off guard here, but I think it's an important question to ask. If you're bringing product to the table, it sounds like you're really confident with it. You just hired a really awesome guy to go out there and sell it for you. What is it? Why should bars out there carry your product or liquor stores? I'd love to hear that.
Well, from the very beginning, we've been using Ohio corn. That's something I've been doing from day one. Of course, we got good corn. Shout out to Von Davis over at Schoolhouse 1862. I've been going there for a long time.
We hear his name all the time. Shout out Von Davis.
Yeah. Shout out Von, man. He's invited us up. We need to get up there. He's awesome.
Go ahead, Lawrence.
Yeah. They have a beautiful farm up there, but for the last 10 years I've had the license and been, distilling. It's always been about Ohio corn, about Ohio wheat, getting as much stuff from Ohio as possible, including our rum that we just got approval for. We use maple syrup as the base. So that has a different flavor than any other rum you've ever tried before. But when I say local, I really try to go as local as I possibly can. So that's why I think, my plan was always to learn the Southern way to how to make moonshine, but incorporate all of our products here and corn and wheat and everything else that we grow, because we do grow the best. So I think putting those two things together is what I'm all about.
It's funny you said it with your chest. You said we grow the best. Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I went to a rural high school. I didn't grow corn, but I went to school with guys that did, and they were proud of it, dude. Like this state here brings so much agricultural. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And it's not necessarily nation known. But I love what you're bringing to the table. What you're saying is you bring the best product out on the market because you bring Ohio corn. You're bringing local product into the beverage that you're creating, and that's making it the best. And I think that's awesome.
Right.
I love Ohio.
All of you, all of you Ohio moonshiners that really showcase what Ohio has with our corn. And again, let's shout out Von Davis. It seems like he's the pipeline to all these guys. Yeah, it sounds like he knows what he's doing. He's got strains. He's got he's really helping the cause out. And he sounds like he likes some moonshine.
Dude,
himself.
I cringe every time. You know how many people will say, "Man, I'm trying to get out of Ohio." I'm like, "Why? You want to go live in Miami, Florida, where everything's 6 times more expensive? It's gorgeous here in the fall. We get a beautiful winter. We've got the best breweries. We've got the best distilleries. Why would you want to leave?"
Ohio has really stepped up their game, in the last 5 years. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Breweries, distilleries. The whole thing, it's come around a long ways.
And Lawrence, I think you've got not just the fact that you're able to kind of confidently say, your product's the best. It should not, or not. That's not what you're saying, but you're saying put it on their shelves because you're Ohio grown. You're Ohio, right? Continuing to be that. I think that's enough said for me.
Oh yeah,
and American whiskey's yet to go over to the store. We need to.
No, we're going to. We've talked about it. We try to make unexpected stop. And
he tries to turn us on every time he puts a Facebook post about the food, the liquor.
It's actually funny you brought that up because actually that was one thing I wanted to bring up here, Lawrence. What is going on with the food there? Because I see some great looking burgers.
Yeah, I think I saw the fried bologna once.
I saw a fried bologna. Yeah, it was like a chicken salad or something.
This guy knows how to get double chin.
Why don't you talk to us about the Flatrock at Fallen Timbers there, Lawrence? Tell us what you got going on there.
Well, unfortunately, during COVID in Maumee, there was a lot of companies that went out of business, and there's a lot of empty buildings, and the shops are falling timbers. Now, this place is kind of an outdoor mall, has a movie theater, that kind of place. And, we saw there were several buildings that were for rent at a very reasonable rate. So we had a brew pub before in Napoleon before COVID, but we shut it down before, luckily before COVID, because we couldn't have anyone inside.
Yeah,
right.
But we decided to reopen in Maumee, and the reason why we reopened in Maumee is because a lot of our I would say the larger metropolitan area is Toledo to us here in Napoleon. So naturally, we wanted to have some type of representation near the population center. I mean, where we're at in Napoleon, there's like 5,000 people. There's over 250,000 in Toledo. And that was part of our plan for growth, as opposed to going out and borrowing $200,000 or $300,000 that we would increase our sales. Really work with the state of Ohio, and then as far as getting our sales up and selling things in the liquor stores, but also to open up a brew pub so that we can showcase some of the things that we're doing. And that's in Maumee, Ohio. That's in the shop, So Fallen Timbers, and my wife actually runs that. She's a chef. She's open tonight, and she's a fantastic chef. I mean, she really has a menu that I think is old school kind of, but there's a little bit of new.
If you're if you're on Maumee River, you're talking to a fisherman here.
Yeah, white bass.
Hell with the white bass. I want to know, do you have fresh walleye?
Yeah.
We do not have fresh walleye.
I threw you under the bus there. I'm sorry.
But we're looking forward to the walleye run that's in March. So
coming
we
up.
Can get our hands on some walleye.
I'm looking forward to it.
It sounds like I know the pictures I've seen. The food looks amazing. God, she's doing an amazing job up there.
My wife's like, you need to go on a diet, and I'm like, yeah, but let me get over here first.
And it looks like you've been dealing with your liquor license issue there, and I've seen you've been doing a lot of research and bringing a lot of the NA beverages. If you want, let you talk about some of those.
Absolutely. So we were having issues with our liquor license there, as far as the type of license that we're allowed to have. Can we have a Redwood D license, and can we have a license connected to our distillery? And then the whole process of dealing with the application, my wife and I kind of looked at each other and were like, you know what, it'd be kind of cool just to have an NA bar, so we don't have to worry about liquor control ever again. I'm like, it's not a bad idea. And then the more she researched it, the more she found out that like NA products are like exploding in growth right now. A lot of people are drinking more NA products, and a lot of people that are turning NA products are actually, indulging in other things that are not alcohol that alcohol actually causes issues with. So we came up with the idea, just kind of joking around, but we looked into it and found out that there was actually a need in Toledo for that type of a bar, and it really took off very, very quickly. There's a lot of people that don't drink. A lot of more and more younger people are drinking. Right. There's a lot of people that for religious reasons don't drink, and then we're getting a lot of those people. We're also getting people that like to drink alcohol just to try a flight of something that they've never tried before. And that's our plan there, to get become the biggest NA bar in Northwest Ohio. So, I think we're going to get people that enjoy NA, but they also want to come in just a curiosity factor to have a flight of something that they can, see if they can tell the difference between something that has alcohol in it and doesn't. So,
and on top of that, eat some amazing food at the same time.
Uncle Joey, can I just add? Lawrence said that the younger people aren't drinking alcohol. I feel like I need to run a course on that. Drink the alcohol version.
So, in other words,
I think they're drinking, but not as much as like the past generations. And I think quality is more important to younger people now than ever before. I know when I was growing up, I mean, I had what I had to drink. I had MD 2020. You know what I mean? That everybody had that.
I used to drink Steel Reserve like it was amazing. Dude.
Okay,
I mean,
Did you ever drink? I'll give you a couple. Lawrence Screwdriver. Did you ever drink that? The pre-made Lawrence Screwdriver and
never heard of that.
And the Boone's Farm wine.
Well, you guys are older than us. Well, that's not fair.
Well, that doesn't mean a lot because.
How about Mad Dog?
Oh yeah, that's what he said. Mad Dog.
Did he say that?
Yeah,
my bad.
It's a funny story. So we would go down when I was stationed in New Orleans. We would go to a bar right off base called the Blue Angel.
Mm-hmm.
every Friday night they did $1 random beer. They would just pour all the fucking beer that was not good into one cooler.
Yes.
And all they would do is reach their hand down, grab it, and give it to you for $1.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
So we'd pregame there.
Uncle Joey, let's talk about it. Mad Dog's in that cooler. Am I wrong?
It was. And that's what I'm getting at here. The best drink in that cooler to pregame with
Mad Dog.
Was Category 5 Hurricane. It was like a Mad Dog. It's a malt liquor. It's not good. But you're pre-gaming for $1.
But you've never had Steel Reserve Blackberry. Okay. You drank 2 Steel Reserve Blackberries, you're in the best. You think you're in heaven. You're just like
until the next day.
But it's one of those things, you get 3 or 4 of those Category 5 Hurricanes, and you're like, I'm ready to go out for a drink, then I'm going to bed.
So Uncle Joey and Dylan, I got to ask Lawrence the number one question we always ask. This is a lie. We never asked anybody this. What is the trashiest beverage you've ever had that you liked?
Oh yeah, good trashy drink.
Just the most trashiest thing you've ever. Mine's a Steel Reserve.
Hey, I went to Ohio State, lived right on East 11th and High Street.
Go Bucks.
We're back when High Street was like Tijuana. Okay. So it was like
90s.
90s.
Yep, 90s.
Yep.
Uncle Joey's aware.
So,
I knew.
So there was a little corner carry out there, and I didn't have a car, so they would have King Cobra, 89 cents for $1.40. That's what I'm drinking.
Hey, cut him off.
He's a man.
I gotta be honest.
Man.
You drink the King Cobras? Is that like a 40?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I used to drink a lot of the Schlitz, the Blue
big.
Bull. I'm 54, so the Billy D. Williams Schlitz Blue Bull was around a lot. We drank a lot of that because it's always the right time.
So trashiest thing I've ever drank is going through a drive-through one night. I was freshly married, and my wife's gorgeous. Believe it or not, I'm still married to the same beautiful woman. Why she would marry this, I don't know, but she did. But anyways, so we go through a drive-through, and we're having euchre night. And I looked at the guy at the drive-thru, and I'm like, hey, man, I want someone who's going to fuck me up. Just one jar. And it was a screwdriver. It might have been the Lawrence screwdriver. I don't know.
Probably was.
It's like really bright yellow.
Was
Yes.
it in a skinny bottle?
My wife put it in the car, and she put her sunglasses on at 12 o'clock at night, and she's like, this ought to do. Hands it to me. I get 3/4 of the way through, and my wife still has, honey, if you're listening, post the picture from the screwdriver with James and his wife that night. I'm telling you, dude, like, it was the most insane experience I've ever had, and I was sick for 3 days.
Pre-made screwdriver, never a good
terrible.
choice.
That's the trash. Dylan, what's your trashiest?
Trashiest, I would. It's something along those lines. Something you can get at a gas station. I'm sure you guys have all heard of it. They're called buzz balls.
I've never heard of that.
They're not good. They're not good. They'll fuck you up.
I've never heard of it, Dylan. What is it?
It's literally just a ball of fucking liquor.
It's just liquor.
Is it bad?
Yeah, but it's liquor.
It's pretty low proof though. It's something.
Lawrence called you out, bitch.
No.
No.
They are. They're low proof, but they're nasty.
Yeah. They're gross. But
that's what I'm saying. They're rough.
Yeah, but a lot of those like buzz balls, and I think you're going to see more and more of those products. Like I said, people are not drinking such high octane stuff anymore. I mean, look at the whole White Claw thing that just popped up, and you're going to see more and more people getting wanting to drink things that have lower, alcohol, like the buzz balls. That you can get at gas
what's
station.
the hot topic right now, Lawrence? It's not buzz balls. It's moonshine distilleries right now. That's a hot topic.
Like Fireball's taking a dive.
Dude, they're all taking a dive. Yeah. Like, if you want to go somewhere cool, like during COVID, we all know breweries were like, it hit out because they shut everything down, but you could go in and get a growler of the good sour beer or an IPA, but it's moved on now. We're on to like distilleries. Like the whole game has changed now. It's crazy.
Lawrence, if I'm not mistaken, aren't you a brewer? Didn't that where you cut your teeth was making beer?
Really?
Yeah. So if you saw I was on Moonshine as Master Distiller. I actually talked about how we're transitioning from brewing to distilling. And one of the issues that we have with having a brewery in Napoleon was we started out as a third brewery in our area as far as having the micro brewery license.
Yeah.
And then a lot of new breweries popped up in Toledo, so people weren't making the trip to Napoleon anymore as much as they were before. So that was one of the reasons why. But I already had my distillery in Holgate, Ohio, so I was actually making liquor and learning how to make liquor the right way. I wasn't really selling anything for a good 2 years. We already had a distillery license. All I had to do was transfer the license to Napoleon, close down the brewery, and that's what we did.
Nice.
And we did it luckily right before COVID hit. But yeah, I do talk about that, and I did have a brewery there for about 4 or 6 years before we went ahead and went over to distilling.
Nice. So just a couple questions about your setup now. How big a still do you have? What do you run now?
125 gallon pot still from Kevin Gordon over at Thunder Road Copper.
Thunder
I've had
Road.
this thing for
yeah.
I want to say I ordered it and got it at the Hillbilly Jam, and I don't remember what year it was, but it was a while ago. It had been at least 3 years ago.
Nice.
So I've had it for about 3 years, and it looks like it's been ran like once a week. So it's not as shiny as it was before, but I like it. I think it makes really, really great liquor.
There you go. And you just kind of hinted at it, and that was going to be my next question. Are you running once a week, twice a week, or like what's your production level at?
Yeah, I'm running once a week, and that's really all the time I have right now. And like I said, I mean, we're working towards increasing sales and kind of growing, and that's kind of in the works right now. And with Richard's help, and I got a few other people helping us out too, just kind of like guiding us in the right direction. I think that the production level that we have right now is going to be increasing, but once a week is all we really can, handle right now with my job. And it's just me. I mean, I pretty much, me and Flora, my daughter, I mean, we run the bar on Saturdays. I do all the packaging. I mean, I'm pretty much a one-man show outside of marketing. Now we have Rich involved and a few other people that really help us out here and there that I'm appreciative of course. But as far as like production, it's just me. So it's tough to find the time to really run like I want to.
Right.
But we're hoping this increase in production and increase in product awareness is going to really help give me more time to focus on production.
And that's probably rough, man. You're mashing and running, so you gotta. You're. When do you sleep, Lawrence? When do you sleep?
Man, I work for Frito-Lay, so I go into work 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then get off around 1, and then it's all about Flatrock after that. I mean, it's tough, but it's not about making money for me. It's just I want to continue this journey. I'm meeting a lot of really cool people, and I get a chance to make liquor. I know I don't get out there much as far as festivals and things like that anymore, but it's all about making the best liquor I possibly can, and then seeing a smile on somebody's face when they try it, and I can see them trying it and they're happy with it.
Right.
That always gets me. I always think that my family that passed on, that was in the moonshine, is looking down and saying, okay, keep at it, don't stop, something good's going to happen eventually.
That's awesome.
I think
that's awesome.
The biggest thing with what you just said is, Uncle Joey, we've been to a few distilleries now.
Yep.
They've all said that. If you're getting into being a legal distiller, you're not getting into it for the money, at least not right away. So your goal is money. You're specifically, or well, maybe it's not, but you're specifically getting that out on the market because you enjoy doing it and you want to see the reaction from people tasting it. I'll never forget when Dylan and I, a couple weeks ago, we went up to Lake Erie Distillery and we had an amazing time. Thank you, Fred and family there. We had an amazing time, but just to see people come in for tastings and to see the joy he had on his face to explain each product they were tasting.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't like going into Buffalo Trace waiting for 3 hours outside for a fucking half-ass product.
Or
like that you actually get to see the guy that was in the back sweating his ass off, burning his hands off, and creating this spirit for you to try. You can see the love and what they put into it. And for me, that's the best part of it. They're not there to do it because they're trying to sell the product and make a ton of money. They're doing it because the love is still there. The love that they're putting in that bottle is still there, and they want to pass it on to other people for them to have it.
Right, and you hit that right on the head there, Anthony. We did a tour at Buffalo Trace, and now going to these other distilleries and seeing the owner, the person that started this, giving these speeches, it shows night and day difference because these people at Buffalo Trace, they're hired to do these tours.
Exactly.
But they don't have the passion that you guys do talking about your own product.
Right.
And it shows. I would rather buy bottles from you guys all day than to go to Buffalo Trace and listen to a robot talk.
Oh, you got to get there at 6 o'clock in the morning, sit there for 2.5 hours in the cold, and when you can just go to Lawrence's.
We've done every bit of that.
We have done it, and I'll do it again.
Just
to get bottles because it's hard to get. When you could just drive a little bit of time, go to a place that opens out, walk in there and grab the bottle.
I guess I guess you guys all kind of hit on this, and it's such a different experience. We've all been on the distillery tours, and we've been on a couple of these moonshine distillery tours, and you're right there. You can feel the heat from the still. You can smell the mash in the barrel. They'll let you put your finger in the barrel and taste their mash. You know, the whole the hands-on. Just bring you back there. You know, the first time I was ever at Tucker's in Yellow Springs, and he brings you right back. Come on, man. Come on. You know, and it's just the availability that you guys
all
have
of your
everything, man. You guys are
Fred.
You guys are more than willing and eager to show and lend every bit of knowledge you can to somebody.
Yes.
And we all appreciate and love each and every one of you, man. We really do.
It's like looking at a painting. Everybody draws a painting different. You know, you could look at the same tree, and at the end of the day, you're drawing it different. So everybody has a different product, whether it's a corn liquor or not. Somebody's got something different to offer, and that's what I love about it. Is I've had some whiskeys that taste the same from big places, but I've never tried a small distillery and had a product that tastes the same.
Yeah, we've yet to have any of the corn liquors taste the same.
And that's what makes it entertaining. Yeah. It makes it entertaining.
So we've a real quick question, kind of in a roundabout. How many products do you offer there, Lawrence? Let's let you get that out there. What do you offer up there?
So we do a gold medal. I want to call it sweet corn moonshine, but it's actually made with Silver King. That's grown over at Von Davis's place, and that's kind of the base for a lot of different other products that we have. A lot of the flavored liquors that we have. I also do a gin. Like I said, I do an Ohio maple syrup rum. I mean, that's going to be my next big thing I want to get out there is that rum, because people are coming up to try it. They're totally blown away by that. We do a bourbon for Wade Jennings, the Bloody Butcher bourbon. Yep. The Bloody Butcher was actually grown in Henry County, but we're looking to make our next batches of his bourbon. That's going to be out in 3 years with Von Davis's Bloody Butcher. So we're trying to have one supplier, but it is tough to do that. But Von's, like I said, I mean, he's got so many products out there. It just makes it easier to have one-stop shop, pay one person, and really support what he's doing there. And gin also, but everything's pot distilled. You know, my gin tastes different for anyone else's gin because I don't have a column still. I know some people that make gin going to be like, how is it doing that? Well, it's a really, really good gin. It has flavors that you normally don't catch. A little bit of a thickness that you don't really see in some of the gins out there. So we do a little bit of everything, but like I said, we're trying to expand our product line out, including our agave spirit, and that's the one that I'm working with Rigo with. So he took that brand, and he's running with it right now. I mean, he's like going to stores and going to liquor stores, and we're really working with the state of Ohio right now to get his listed in as many liquor stores as possible all over the state, because he's chomping at the bit, ready to go to make these sales. And I'm happy to get him out there too, because he's the kind of person that, he'll push his thing, but he'll bring everything else, everyone else's liquor, like Wade's liquor. We do a moonshine for Moonshiner Huck from Moonshiners. That's a pear corn. He'll push all that stuff, not just his thing, when he's out doing tastings. And that's why I respect him so much. That's why I'm looking forward to see what he has to do, what he's going to do out there in the field. So, but a little bit of everything, but mostly I'm known for moonshine, watermelon, blackberry, just like anyone else. I don't do apple pie because everyone does apple pie. Even people that don't even.
I do apple pie, bro.
But I've tried a lot of really good apple pies, and I think apple pie is tough to get wrong to the point where I'm why would I waste the label for that, you know? So I skipped over apple pie and did candy apple moonshine. That's really, really good. I would say that's probably our number three seller as far as our like flavored moonshines. But I tried to do a little bit of everything, but I want to make my liquor is all inclusive. Like I want to grab the people that like bourbon, that like moonshine, that like gin, that might want something a little more higher end and a nicer bottle. That's kind of what I'm looking at now. Just making a liquor for everyone and just really showing that I can. There's no product, there's no liquor that I can't make.
There you go.
On a pot still. And that's just the way I feel about it now. I think we make a good product because we're using local corn and wheat and barley, and that's one of the reasons why we're winning so many awards, and we're really ready to grow. So
the product as far as what you can read and see online, dude, it's nothing short than amazing.
You definitely won some awards. Yeah, you've done well, man. You really have.
And that's why it's such an honor to get you on here, man. Just to get the different. There's so many different people out there that are trying to do what you're doing right now, but each one of you bring a different product to the table. It's crazy.
They do.
I don't even know how to say it anymore. I'm like, this is my favorite one because I like them all differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have yet to taste a corn liquor that we don't like.
Dude, when I tried Ghost Whiskey,
when
I tried Ghost Whiskey the other day over at Fred's, I was like mind blown because it was nothing different there, or there was something different there.
Yeah.
That created just a completely different thought process in my brain. And it's like that, so it's really cool to see you to do that. And we don't want to keep you all night. But I wasn't able to ask you this question the last time because shit hit the fan, which it is what it is. But I'm going to ask you that tonight. We came together. We did this American whiskey thing. We've ran with it. But the most important question that I've always asked everyone that's on this podcast, and I know you watch it, so I'm sure you've been prepared for this. But one thing that you can say about America, whether it's good or bad, just something about America that you want to just bring to the table.
Honestly, my story, working a full-time job, being able to chase a dream. The kids can't eat dreams, so you got to work. But if you're willing to put the work in and have a dream, this is a place that you can actually go and make it happen. We've been through ups and downs in this distillery, 2 fires next door, our place almost burning down, COVID. We've been through so much, but we kept the faith, and we just said we're just going to keep pushing because something good is going to happen, because in this country you have those type of opportunities that it can be luck. And you can be lucky, but if you put the time and effort into your the probability that you're going to get luck just increases, and that's something that you're just not going to see anywhere else. Where you can open a brewery or open a distillery or a winery or chase a dream or go after a side hustle, and as long as you want to work for it, you're not going to have a negative attitude. You go after it. A lot of times, those dreams come true.
It's all about what you're willing to put into it. That's what I like
about this country.
Yeah,
exactly. Yep.
I think, Lawrence, one question, man. Was it easy to open up a distillery?
No, absolutely not. And one of the reasons why, and that's something I'm not proud of, a lot of people that know me from the TV show and stuff, I got busted selling moonshine before I got my license. And that made it harder for me, I think, the whole process, because there's a lot of trust that comes into selling liquor for the state, because technically with the state of Ohio owns the liquor.
Yep.
I guarantee you, if that's something my grandfather was alive and I told him that, explain the process, how we do all the work, but they own the liquor, he laughed his ass off. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way it is. But it's tough because of that. But just being a person that just wants to make moonshine or open up a distillery, it does take a little bit of money, and you got to find the right place. You got to be busy savvy. You got to do a lot of stuff yourself. Trusting your instinct and your gut, and you got to have luck.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's just, you have to have the passion to keep going, because especially if you have kids. If you're retired, that's one thing. Kids are all grown. You kind of play around money. I don't have that. I have 4 kids I got to take care of. We got a household to hold down, and I'm not going to let them suffer because I have a dream. I do that instead of going fishing or hunting or all the cool toys that everybody has. I don't have any of that stuff. I'm asked to spend my time arguing with the state about getting a product up, or trying to get things sold, or do some sales here and there, or paperwork, running liquor. It's my full time. It's another full time job, but I'll do it. Again and again, because I can see my boys getting older, and my daughter, and they're proud of what we're doing, and that gives me the strength to keep going.
Yeah.
Hey, Lawrence, I think Still's a pretty cool toy, by the way.
Yeah.
So you're not going without, man. Well, I know what you're talking about, but you've got something that a lot of men envy, man. A lot of men, because of like you said, COVID really boosted the moonshine world. There's a lot of men out there would love to be in your shoes, man. So I know 100%. Somebody like me, Anthony and Dylan, keep pushing, keep striving, and keep working hard, man. It just shows guys like us that there is a chance.
And I think I think you hit it on the head. There is, at the end of the day, I've got 4 kids as well. I've got 4 kids 9 and under. And when I think about them. And, my son and my kids ask them, why'd you shave your beard off? And I teach them a lesson through that. You know what I'm saying? I explain to them what happened. When your kids, Lawrence, ask you, Dad, like, why are you doing this? Like, you work at Frito-Lay. Like, you're delivering this product to people. Why are you doing this? And you get to sit down and you say, because son or daughter, I believe chasing your dreams, but at the same time, I believe in taking care of you, and I can do both. I may not have the 4-wheelers and the side-by-sides and 16 vacations a year, but what I am doing is providing for you and trying to create a dream, not just for me, but for you later on in life.
Yep. Creating that future.
Lawrence, I think you hit it on the head right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's exactly where I'm at. There's a lot of guys out there and ladies that have families that are starting small businesses too. And it's one of those things that you gotta think about, how am I going to vote, and how am I going to look at the next political presidential cycle and senators and all this stuff, and who's really there making sure that small business people don't have to pay so much taxes and doesn't have so many fees or excise taxes, for example.
Man.
Yes.
And every single cent that you can save gets you one step closer to realizing your dream, to making your dream be your main source of income.
Yes.
And that's stuff to think about. And also keeping your nose clean, man, because I can tell you right now, there's a lot of guys that say, I want to start a distillery, man. I need some help, but I'm like, were you selling illegal moonshine right now? Well, yeah, well, stop.
Right.
And I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off when I say that, but I'm telling you right now, man, depending on what state you are, those kind of convictions will stop you from being able to get a legal, even be a part of a legal distillery.
Right.
So, and that's the only kind of advice I can have for people. I got lucky, but a lot, you got to keep your nose clean and really focus on, making enough money and getting things together and learning how to distill the right way. That's the most important thing if you want to start, your own distillery. So,
yeah. And I think, you can, anyone listening, take his word for it. If there's a dream worth chasing, chase after it. You can still live your everyday life and provide for your family. It's just, how bad do you want it? This podcast, I'll be honest with you, man. I started podcasting 6 years ago, and it's not been great on the pocketbook. I mean, it's something that I love to do. It's something that I'm creating still. And, I do it for the people around me, and I'm also shooting for the stars. Uncle Joey's doing it, Dylan's doing it. But at the same time, we're still providing for our families.
Yep.
So don't let people tell you that you can't chase for your dreams. I mean, Lawrence is a prime example of doing that. And nobody can tell you that you can't.
Right.
That's a fact.
Right.
How many times did the state tell you that you can't?
A lot.
Yeah.
It's not just state, I mean, family members and
how about the state down? How many from the state down, from the federal down, told you can't?
Right. Yeah.
And Lawrence, you did it, buddy. I mean, your kids see that, bro. We see that.
Yeah, we see it.
And every time we see one of your sandwiches on there, dude, we're just like, wow.
Yeah, it makes me
and listen, I don't know if it's you that does all your promoting on Facebook, but whoever does it does a great job. You really push your product.
You said you do it, Lawrence?
Yeah.
Hey, you do a fantastic job, man. Kudos to you.
Shout out Big Sturg for doing that too. I know what you mean, Lawrence.
Because that's another. No, he keeps it steady. No, Lawrence, you put a lot of content on there of your business, man. You really, really do.
Yeah,
he does.
It's a job. That's a job and a time. All steps are a job.
They are.
All steps are a job.
So I know you were kind of wrapping this up like we normally do, Big Sturge. I had one question for him real quick.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I know yesterday was your birthday, Lawrence, and
happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday, brother.
I saw you post something.
Happy 28th birthday. Cheers to that, brother.
I saw you post something, and with Veterans Day coming up next week, I thought it would be cool to have you shout it out and talk about it for a second.
Absolutely.
What is the Hooves Foundation?
The Hooves Foundation is a rehabilitation foundation for vets that are coming over, and they use horses for rehab. And we've been doing a lot of different tasting events way back when I had the brewery. So we've been doing a lot with them locally, and they're an excellent organization for vets. Because of course you can go to the VA, you can get help and pills and a little bit of mental health things, but it's the days, the tough days that the VA is not there for you, or maybe your family can't be there for you. You really need to get some little bit more help, a little bit more positive view on the world, especially for a lot of vets that are coming over that are have PTSD or have injuries. The horse. Working with the horses, things like that, not just riding, but just being around the animals, I think really does something for people. And it's a really great organization. I want to see them to grow so that we can get more, vets to go in and actually get not only the help they deserve, but also like a new focus on something else other than the issues and the problems that they're having at that time. And a lot of vets, I mean, they come back home and they're just expected just to meld right back into society, work a job, and keep it moving. But sometimes you can't do that. Right. And there's a lot of great organizations out there that are nonprofit that are set up to help them. And I really want to see them expand and help more vets.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome, Lawrence, that you're doing that. If we can promote it and pump it, I know this podcast will do as much as we can do to help out as well, man. We thank you.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it.
Lawrence, is there anything else that you want to hit on?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks a lot for everyone out there that's supporting the distillery. I get it. A lot of people want us here, they want us there. I get people emailing, writing, and texting all the time. When are we going to go to Wyoming? When are we going to come to Wisconsin or New Mexico, wherever? We're trying. It's just really difficult to get national coverage as far as distribution. You really got to get that first distributor in your pocket, helping you out to expand out into other markets. And that's what we're working on right now. So we're in business, we're rolling. It's just, we're at a point right now where we're really too small to even take care of all of Ohio right now. And getting into other states is going to be tough. But I think we have a good plan in place. I think we got things rolling right now that we're looking to really expand out in Ohio and using Ohio as a jumping off point to the Midwest and forward from there.
Well, you know what they say, Lawrence. I mean, you don't get born at 6 foot tall. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It definitely takes time and effort, which it sounds like you're putting in. So
hell yeah, Lawrence.
Yeah.
If your salesman Rich wants to hop on here sometime and give his sales pitch,
we'd love to sit with him sometime. Yeah.
So
okay, yep. I think that's coming. He's got a lot to talk about, a lot of shows
for sure.
Yeah, he's really blowing up across Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky. I mean, he's always on the road and doing something. That's why we work so well together, because I'm driving the truck. He's trying to call me. I'm like, I can't answer the phone because I'm driving the truck. I stop and he's driving again. So he's a hustler. I'm a hustler. I think we both work well together that way. But he does have a really great ideas, and I love for him to share.
Well, if Rich is watching tonight, just let him know that my son still talks about the show at Farm to Bottle. So I shared a picture with him on his Facebook, but I'll share it on yours too, man. He made my son's absolute week.
Yeah, Ryan loved it.
It's been months, man. Uncle Joey and I were up front, dude. We had the kids on our shoulders. We were jamming to him. So when I saw that you were collaborating with him, dude, I was really excited because I'm going to tell you right now, man, he did not have to take time out of his day to make my kid happy. He did. I mean, most musicians don't. And you can just tell. I know he's doing the tattoo business. He's doing so much, man.
Right.
And so, Lawrence, I think that was a great move. You guys are going to do amazing fucking job working together, and we're really excited for it. And Uncle Joey, Dylan, we're going to do our part as American Whiskey to spread the word about your place, and we still need to make it up there. We want to make this happen.
I was talking with Sean Rigsby, Big Easy, this whole group. We want to make a group effort and come up and see you sometime.
So we'll definitely make that happen, man. I appreciate you very much for giving us some time this evening.
Problem.
Yeah, I know it's hard to do. You got kids, you're
busy man, yeah.
So I know that takes time away from that. So we appreciate you.
All right, so Big Sturg.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on, man.
My last thing for this episode.
What?
I haven't been reading comments today.
Yeah,
but this one has to be read to you. Waylon L. Wheels says, "Damn, Big Sturg, you're a sexy MFer with that beard action, and a lot of respect for the reason behind it, bro."
It's all right. I don't have the beard. I know it's gone. It's coming back though.
Lawrence, we appreciate your time, man. We really do.
All right, and everybody watching, we appreciate you tuning in. We got T-shirts for sale. Lawrence, send me your address. We're going to send one up your way. We appreciate everybody.
Address and size, Lawrence.
Yep, address and size.
Okay, no problem.
So, all right, guys. As always, I'm Big Sturg.
I'm Justice League,
and I'm Uncle Joey.
And you are.
Who you got?
Lawrence Pritchard.
There we go.
We are American Whiskey.